Far away. Late mail numbers from Ron Duffy are 9, 1, 10 and 3. As Chris, he's claimed as a Queenslander, as Wayne Wilson saying on course.
Well, he just comes from across the border. But of course, most of his riding is done here. Chris Muntz, he lived here for many, many years before moving south, and certainly it's an added advantage knowing this track like he does anyway.
Okay, Rosehill not too far away. We'll be back with more from the Gold Coast after Gai Waterhouse claims her third 2-year-old Magic Millions.
Race 7 here at Rosehill Gardens, numbers 9, 1, 10 and 3. Look, she knows how to...
Movement from the inside with Scenic Boom. That steadies. Starter going down to mount his stand. They're racing this time, and Terrace wide out, one of the best to break. Spinning Con looking for the lead. Sunday Service right up there with Restless, and then Legal Brief followed by Raw Instinct, a length to Strange Conflict, then Scenic Boom, Romeo George majestically, and dropping out to last is Terrific Tourist as they race along towards the 1600, and Spinning Con in its usual role, making play by 2.5 lengths on the well-tried favourite Sunday Service. Terrace in the third posse, followed by Restless on the inside of Raw Instinct. 2.5 Legal Brief, Strange Conflict on its outside, then Terrific Tourist, Scenic Boom, Romeo George, and last year's winner, namely majestically, brings up the rear as they head into the back of the track and race past the 1300, and Spinning Con by 2 lengths on Sunday Service. Similar margin third Terrace. Raw Instinct is running fourth, then Restless, followed by Strange Conflict, Legal Brief, then Terrific Tourist, Romeo George, Scenic Boom, and 2 lengths to Old Majestically. No change in the pattern heading to the halfway marker. They've got 1,000 metres to run now, and Spinning Con's only a length to 3 parts of a length on Sunday Service, and Brown not letting the rider on Spinning Con for dictate terms to suit himself. 2.5 third is Terrace, followed by Restless, Raw Instinct, and then Legal Brief, followed by Strange Conflict, a length in to Terrific Tourist, Scenic Boom from Romeo George, and 2.5 lengths to Majestically. Still no order change past the 550, and Spinning Con's been in front from the word go. The break on the favourite Sunday Service, a length as they prepare to swing. Restless over on the inside of Terrace, and then comes Raw Instinct, followed on the outside Strange Conflict, but in the stretch and down to the 300, and Brown makes his move on Sunday Service. It hits the front from Spinning Con. Raw Instinct going after Sunday Service from Terrace, and Restless over on the inside. Raw Instinct bridges the gap on the favourite Sunday Service. Raw Instinct hits the front from Sunday Service. Strange Conflict coming late, but it's Raw Instinct's cup. Raw Instinct beats Strange Conflict. Photo third, Restless with Sunday Service, and a good go next between Terrific Tourist, the outer, and Terrace, followed by Legal Brief. Majestically, Spinning Con dropped out and beat to the line Romeo George and Scenic Boom.
Graham Rogerson Racing Stables wants you to become part of the glamour and excitement of racehorse ownership. It's yearling sale time. Graham and his special...
Third at Rosehill, and the 2-year-old Magic Millions for 2003, taken out by Dance Hero. The trainer, Gai Waterhouse. The jockey is Chris Muntz.
Well, you showed your hand early, didn't you?
Well, look, you know, when you go through races, only 3 or 4 genuine hopes. The rest, you know, we're always going to be struggling to be competitive. So I just rode him like the good thing I thought he was. You know, rode him aggressive, rode him positive, and he's run good time, hasn't he?
Didn't he? Yeah, he did, mate. Well, you rode him as his last start at Randwick, and of course, he must have impressed you there.
Well, he did at Rosehill. He ran good time that day, and he won by a big margin. So, super effort. So much for his slow track work on Tuesday morning.
Yeah, that's right. And what about the slipper? You think he's...
Oh, he's a live hope, yeah, because, I mean, he's very tradesman-like. He can do anything, really. He's not necessarily a speed horse, so, you know, in the high-pressure races, he'll be there for sure.
Larry Ellison there with the winning jockey for Dance Hero. I refer to Chris Muntz. Now 1,839 after the previous Rosehill. 1,839, and 9, 6,492.20 was the tab limited first 4. Correct weight after the Gold Coast before a huge crowd. Dance Hero, $5.190, ever not a single doubt. Murray Madeline running third. Trifecta, $214. First 4 Unitab, 4, 1, 11 and 2, $879. And on tab limited, $564.50. Caulfield, the last in 13 minutes from now. The Super Tab Quaddy at Caulfield, 3, 1, 6 and 9, $194.50. Main ones here, C Signor at $4.80, 5 Oscar Eric at $4.90, 4 Liquid Lunch at $5.60. And over Over to number 9, Certain Something at 6.70. Alf Matthews joining us for the look at the event from Caulfield. The horses on their way to the start, and C Senor at 4.70, Sandbelt 6.30, Liquid Lunch 5.70, and Oscar Eric is at $5. Here's Alf with the late mail on the last at Caulfield.
Sticking with number 1 here, Sir Senor. Look, I like him. Well,
the reason why we got you out here is because we think you can win the second last race on our Fabio. Do you agree with us?
Oh yes, he's you know, he's going to be right up there, but I think the top weight's going to be hard to beat too.
You had a good record in this fella last time in, didn't you?
Yeah, I had 2 wins on him straight after each other, so yeah, he's not a bad horse.
Yeah. Gets on the pace and does everything right.
He does. He's drawn well and he gets on the pace. It'll be a real good run today.
First up, Holes No Fear. You've been on him in the track?
I have. I've been riding him a lot of his track work, and he's a very fit horse. He doesn't carry any excess, so you know he's going to be fit enough, I think.
Well, we go to the last, and you're on Gainley Lad, and Laurie Richardson's just won that previous race, and he tells me this is a sneaky chance too.
Well, geez, I hope so.
Well, he's a horse. He did win his last start over the border at Lismore. Did you notice that?
Yes. I think you know he's down in weights, and I think he'll be a chance today.
Well, I think what he wants you to do is give him one little behind his bottom, behind the boxes. He thinks you're capable of getting them going.
Oh, okay. I think I can handle that.
Right. Okay, well, our Fabio, your best, is it?
Yes.
Thanks, Lace.
Thank you, Larry.
Lacey Morrison there with Larry Olsen. Our Fabio, 8 starts for 5.
Good betting race, the last on the program too, Rod, where Oscar Eric is going to run favourite on track ahead of C Senor. Some news for earlier. Super Elegant taking out the Rubiton Stakes. Ran his last 800, 43.97. Super Groove didn't put in over the final 500 metres. Reluctant to stretch out according to Nastra Winner. Carlton Ace won the first. He's been set for Blue Diamond Preview later this month. Reset got some big raps from Dan Nikolic. Called him Group Class, the real deal. Can quicken. He'll get 2,000 metres. Could win a Guineas. So big raps from Dan Nikolic on Reset, who took out the second on the program. And Le News, who won the 4th, is going to be stepping up to some better class mares races over the autumn. Righto, in this final event, just about ready to go. Oscar Eric stepping up dramatically in distance, is going to run favourite Greg Childs, looking for a winning double. And second pick, C Senor, well in the market on track 2, Sandbelt and Certain Something. He'll appreciate coming back to this trip, you would think. Now they're just about ready. Sandbelt going into the outside stall. Ready to run now. Liquid Lunch standing okay. They're away. He was one of the first out with Rouge, and Oscar Eric jumped out of the stalls quickly. Hit the spotters driving up towards the front runners as well, and C Senor's working over from a wide barrier. Plenty of speed on in the race, and Dane News is pushing up in the centre. C Senor at the 1600 taking the lead from Dane News. Hit the spot third. Danaret back to 4th, a length and a half away. Then came Certain Something, improving around the outside. Oscar Eric back on the rails midfield. Sandbelt trapped out 3 wide. 1 Liquid Lunch to Rouge, and Phase Tip is 2 lengths away last at the 1300, and C Senor is the leader. Climbing up the hill, he wants to go a little faster. He's out by 2 lengths. Dane News second, hit the spotters, third on the rails. A length further back then came Certain Something, still travelling 3 wide as they top the rise on the back of the track. Danaret between horses. Oscar Eric midfield on the fence, followed by Sandbelt still out wide, and then came Liquid Lunch to Rouge, and Phase Tippers last of all inside the 1000, where C Senor is the leader. Out 3/4, Dane News second, hit the spotters running third on the inside of Certain Something. A length further back in 5th placing Danaret, and then came Sandbelt wide on the outside of Oscar Eric, trailed by Liquid Lunch in the yellow colours, and then Phase Tip and Rouge is last. 700 left to go, coming up the side. C Senor a neck in front of Dane News, Certain Something. Back behind these horses, hit the spot on the inside, and then Danaret, Sandbelt. Phase Tip making ground. Oscar Eric's got a good way back. He's got nowhere to go at the moment. He's back there with Liquid Lunch and Rouge. Coming around the turn, C Senor ahead in front of Dane News, Certain Something. Phase Tip putting in a run, but off the track, and then hit the spot, Danaret, and the rest headed by Sandbelt, Liquid Lunch. Oscar Eric well back and held up. C Senor in the straight, leads by about a length here to Dane News under the whip, and 3 lengths back, Certain Something. Oscar Oscar Eric's got clear now, but he's a long way back. And C Senor is out by 2 lengths to Dane News. Oscar Eric seeing daylight late. C Senor in front. He's going to hold on. Yes, C Senor. He's won it from Oscar Eric, who flew home. Wasn't he something beaten? Dane News or Danaret for the minor end of the prize, and Liquid Lunch right behind them, followed by Tarouge, who made ground. They were trailed by Certain Something. Sandbelt hit the spot. Phase Tip. C Senor's got home to give Brady Cross a winning double. The run of the race clearly was Oscar Eric, who's turned in a slashing run for second place. He's got it second, and third goes to number 3, Dane News. So officially 1, 5 and 3, and fourth home number 10, Danaret.
Thanks very much to Greg Miles there. The last at Caulfield, Brady Cross from Matthew Ellerton. 1, 5, 3 and 10 on the last event. C Senor was a value bet winner, $4.170. Drew wide, and Brady had no alternative but to take the horse to the front. He was allowed to settle C Senor and kick clear to win, and win well. That was a good ride. Brady Cross was C Senor over the luckless Oscar Eric. Dane News running third. That trifecta, $169 in a time of 2:2.2.
9, 2, 1 and 5. I'm going for the this horse here, Alfabio. Look, he's only...
They're set. And they're racing. Grey Region off the inside, left only fairly. And our Fabio began brilliantly with Elaborate. And when they settle down, it's Elaborate the outside going to the lead. Our Fabio second, closely being followed by High Jump. Our Mr. Pompeii scoots off on the outside. Illumina's not far away with that bunch. And then Grey Regent, Melrebin Lad, Kid Millions. Beamer's third last coming to the turn. He's in a bit of trouble too. Oh, they're going everywhere there. And further back on the field, Groovy Miss. Now just Divine's last, but it's getting a rails run inside 5 or 6, and that might be valuable in a moment. In the straight, Elaborate leads past the 400 metres. Our Mr. Pompeii from our Fabio. Grey Regent gets in the clear from Illumina, and now Just Divine gets to the outside, is starting to scoot. Elaborate in front past the 200 from our Fabio. Illumina, Just Divine, Melrebin Lad down the outside. Elaborate, our Fabio, Illumina and Melrebin Lad. Here's a big finish. Our Fabio grabs the lead. Our Fabio beats Illumina and Melrebin Lad. It's a photo fourth between Elaborate and Just Divine. Then Beamer, he never recovered from the trouble. And then Grey Region followed by Kid Millions a long way back. Our Mr. Pompeii. And the last two, Groovy Miss and High Jump. Number 9, our Fabio is the winner, ridden by Lacey Morrison, to pay $5.40 and $2. 10 Illumina will pay $2.20, and 4 Melrebin Lad will pay $2.40. The numbers will read 9, 10 and 4, and it will be a photo for fourth. There won't be much. Oh, Just Divine got squeezed out near the line too, didn't it? But it had its chance to win in the straight. It just wasn't good enough at the finish. The numbers are 9, 10, 4. And 5 fourth Elaborate and 2 fifth in the race, and that was Just Divine. The numbers are 9, 10, 4 and 5. Well, there was a real scrimmage coming up to the 600 metres mark. Beamer was in it. There was a couple of others in trouble.
Okay, number 9, our Fabio the winner. The Sequalo gelding. Rex Lipp the trainer, Lacey Morrison the jockey. $5.40, $2 over Illuminar, Melrebin Lad running third. At the start for the last event from Rosehill, restricted to no more than 1 Metropolitan win over the 1300 late mail time. Here's Ron Dufficy.
A lucky last at Rosehill, numbers 3, 6, 15 and 1. Look, I like the credentials of Marcel, and he gets all the ticks here. He's had 2 trials to prepare for this. He races well fresh. He's unbeaten on dry tracks. Very, very hard.
Lad $2.40. That trifecta $279. Last event from Morpeth.
Pensive Warfare and It's Our Time are the last pair. They move in simultaneously, and the line is set for the last. A field of 14 to run. Ready to go on the last of the afternoon here at the Gardens. Marcel and a clear-cut favourites. Starter has the button. Set. They're off in the final event of the day, and the favourite Marcellin bounced out in front. Zhivago jumped away nicely, so too did Azam Valley. Going up, Madawi Emperor, followed by Optimax and Connoisseur, and then Pensive Warfare, Charlie Bub. Further back in the field is Chatline, out off the track, It's Our Time. Then Sentimental Tour, about 2.5, then to Goodfella, followed by Catcher, and Bella the Isle drops out last. Around the first corner, Zhivago takes up the running. Madawi Emperor second, Connoisseur third, followed closely then by Optimax. On the inside, inside is Marcel and 1 Charlie Bub. Chatline around Pensive Warfare, 2 Sentimental Tour. It's Out Time wide, and then on the inside Azam Valley from Goodfella Bell of the Isle, and 2.5 to catch. Leaving the 600 Javago, 3/4 Madawi Emperor. 1/3 is Connoisseur, followed by Optimax and Marcel and cluttered away, followed by Pensive Warfare. Chatline, Charlie Bub and It's Our Time heads the others as they straighten, and down to the 320 Javago, a length and a half. Marcel and clear galloping room for him now, and Marcel and races up to Javago to get to almost his girth, not quite, and 2 lengths further back Madawi Emperor, then Charlie Bub on the outer from Chatline. Javago will not surrender. The favourite Marcellin won't catch Javago, and Javago wins well from Marcellin, Charlie Bub and Madawi Emperor. Then Chatline followed home by Bell of the Isle, Pensive Warfare, Catcher, Goodfella, Sentimental Tour, Optimax, Azam Valley, and the last couple, It's Our Time and Connoisseur. Too good for them in the last of the day. Number 1, Javago, ridden by Corey Brown. So another winner for Corey, and trained by the informed Gwenda Markwell. This is the best run that Gwenda's ever enjoyed. She's got a good team and a very good, competent trainer from Kembla Grange. An 8-year-old bay gelding, Javago. Age shall not weary them, or the years condemn. And he's picked up today for his owners $32,500, which takes him on to about 233,000. Numbers coming up in the last. 1, 3, 2, 4. 1 the winner. Javago, number 3 Marcella, every chance. The run will probably do him the world of good. A masterclass gelding, John O'Shea, Huey Bowman. Number 2 third, Charlie Bub, running on again. O'Reilly, Gary Portelli, Ronnie Stewart, and number 4 was the 4th, and that was Madawi Emperor. 1, 3, 2, 4. Sentimental Tour, don't know what to make of him. His last 2 runs average now, so he was a disappointment. Here are the, well, we only need the first 4. The Superfecta was on the 7th, so it's 1, 3, 2, 4, and the time of 1 minute 15:76, which has smashed Arch Arvay's class record of 1:16:07, 1:15:76, 34:05, and the tote dividends are not yet to hand. 1, 3, 2, 4, and we don't require anything else. So we'll take a break from all here are margins coming up now. Thank you, Gregory. And it was 1.5 by 1 3/4. All the totes to come on the last from Rosehill Gardens.
Thanks very much, Ian, and we've heard from the New South Wales TAB that they are experiencing some problems. Technical team are working on the fault and everything should be up and running.
Picked up Larry Olsen. Prince Howell is coming off a freshen up, a promising stayer from the Sean Dwyer yard.
This don't look too bad. He does sprint well fresh. Too early will help.
Number 3 is Port Call. Plenty of confidence on course and very good value of the tote.
As you say, plenty of confidence here. He's a good, pretty handy horse fresh. On
start, the lights go on. 1,400 metres the distance. The gates open and they're off in the last event of the day. Limited Impulse was the first to go. Portfolios began quickly and Port Call and Gainley Lad going for speed. Road to Heaven just behind those with Stormy Lodge and Midnight Avenue. And then comes Fearless Racer a little bit deep as they head down the back. The Wreck is getting back on the field. So too is Awesome Warrior. New Traders on the fence, followed then by the Awesome Chance and a couple to Prince Hell. They're on the first corner at the 900 metres mark and Portfolios is the leader. A neck to Port Call second. Road to Heaven third. Limited Impulse is pulling hard. He's 4th on the inside. Gainley Lad's in 5th and Fearless Racer 6th, but he's out deep. A length away to Midnight Avenue on the inside of Stormy Lodge and the Rex 3 wide. And then comes Awesome Warrior, followed then by New Trader, the Awesome Chance, and a couple to Prince Hell. They're at the 500 coming to the bend. Portfolio's just the leader on the point of the corner. Port Call's outside him. Road to Heaven 3 out. Fearless Racer's gone up 4 out. Limited Impulse looks for the way through, followed by Gainley Lad and Stormy Lodge and the Wreck are running home. In the straight to the 300, Portfolios just in front of Port Call. Road to Heaven. Limited Impulse on the fence, and Fearless Racer. Midnight Avenue's getting in the clear now. Portfolio's the leader. Limited Impulse got the sprint, and here comes Midnight Avenue. Limited Impulse and Midnight Avenue. Midnight Avenue's grabbed the lead close to home. Midnight Avenue's beaten Limited Impulse and Portfolios. Photo 4th. In it, Stormy Lodge, Awesome Warrior and Port Call together. The next home, Road to Heaven, New Trader, Fearless Racer, the Awesome Chance, the Wreck. A long way back on the field, Prince Hell, and last home was Gainley Lad.
Last event, 6 Midnight Avenue, $4 the win, $1.90 for the place. Limited Impulse second, Portfolios third. Great job from Alan Thomas on Magic Millions Day 2003, 6, 12 and 13.